Alright, so let me just apologize in advance because this video is going to be a little bit of a downer. As the title implies, I'm going through, again, another little bit of a rough patch by my standards. And really, I just kind of needed to vent because I feel like that's becoming a pretty necessary part of my coping process. I wrote a whole script that, had jokes and, I wanted to talk about how I messed up my hair. And all of these other things, but I don't really feel in the mood at all to talk about or to joke about that stuff. I just want to vent, and hopefully that will help me move past where I'm at. So again, I just want to apologize in advance because I'm probably not even going to be reading off my script. It's probably just going to be a lot of rambling, and hopefully I can edit that into something somewhat coherent. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, basically I had a situation that I think most people, that I know everybody goes through. But if you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm a late bloomer, and therefore I am only now learning lessons that I'm pretty sure everybody else on this planet has already learned. Long story short, I went through a situation a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I'm not sure, where basically I made this kind of big sacrifice to get something or to get closer to one of my goals. And basically after the sacrifice that I made, which was not very easy to go through by my standards, I ended up in a worse off position than where I was before I even made the sacrifice. And the thing about it was that I didn't really want to do it. Like, logically, it didn't really make sense to do it at this time. And I don't want to be vague, but like I really don't want to go into like all the details because I don't think it's really necessary. I think the overarching theme is what's important, not really the details of it. But yeah, I made this sacrifice, and the thing about it was that I felt compelled to do it. Like the stars aligned for me to make this sacrifice at this time, and it almost felt wrong not to do it at this time. And so even though in my head I was fighting it, and not just in my head, I was literally pacing up and down my room, cussing myself out, like, don't do this right now, it's gonna be difficult, this is not the opportune time, so just wait a little bit and it'll be better for you. And despite that whole argument that I was having with myself, I couldn't talk myself out of it. And so to get through it and to come out the other side in a worse off position than when I started, I kind of felt betrayed. But I don't know what. Like, myself, the stars, I don't know. But I felt betrayed. I was like, why did I feel forced to do this at this time? Because now I have lost a lot of progress that I was making. And I can't explain why. I have no answers as to why. I just feel completely lost. Like, why did I feel such a strong urge to do this then that even my own logic couldn't convince me to not do this? And what sucks is that, like, I told myself, I was like, this isn't going to end up where you want it to end up. And that's exactly what happened. And so honestly, like, this feeling betrayed by myself, plus this not knowing why, it just left me with this deep sense of apathy. I know in my life I am where I am because I've always taken the easy option. I've always taken the easy option. And so in this moment, I really thought that I was, making this positive change. I was taking the harder option in order to get where I thought I needed to go. And yeah, to end up in a worse off position because you take that harder option leaves you feeling with this sense of, well, what was the point? Why take the harder option? Why not just take that easier option? And so the past 2 weeks, basically, I've been desperately trying to figure it out. Like, sleepless nights. And I know that seems hyperbolic or seems extreme, but that's literally what it is. I'll be up for like 3-4 hours in the middle of the night, like just thinking, okay, like like, why don't these pieces fit? And 2 weeks later, I don't really have an answer. And so I'm like, well, so as I continue with my routine, I'm just like, well, what am I doing this? Like, what if I get this sudden urge again to do something hard? And now I'm going to have to think back to that experience and be like, no, what's the point? And that scares me because, up until that point, like, doing the harder thing had, like, led to some kind of, I don't know, it just led to something else that, you know, you can latch onto. It's like climbing a ladder, you know. And so like I just got to the next rung, and then you get to the next rung by doing the hard thing, and then you get to the next rung by doing the hard thing. And this time it felt like I did the hard thing and I fell like 20 feet. I'm like, what? Why would that happen? Why would that happen? So now, without knowing why, it makes taking that next hard decision so much more difficult, because I'm like, am I gonna lose progress again? I don't know what to trust. I don't know if I should, like, I just don't, I don't know. So that's kind of where I am right now. Fortunately, I will say that, well, okay, one thing that I do believe is that every experience that you go through, you can take something from, even if it's not immediate, you can sort of learn from, hopefully. And so even though I don't have any answers right now, I have been able to, these are usually the situations where I would capitulate. Like, these are the situations where I would just quit, because again, that sense of apathy, like, wait, I did the hard thing, so why is nothing coming from it? Why didn't I get to that next rung? Why did I not just not get to that next rung? Why did I fall? I mean, again, I think I'm just learning a lesson that most people learn at some point in their lives, but again, I'm just learning it late, because I mean, I look around and that feels like what existence is for so many people. So maybe I just need to get over myself, you know, suck it up, keep going, because that's literally just daily life for, I would say, the majority of people who are sacrificing every single day, hoping that it'll get them somewhere, and not and ending up not where they want to be, or not where they thought they should be. So maybe this is just a taste of that, and learning how to continue going through that is the lesson. Maybe if I can take anything from this experience, I guess that's one thing. Maybe doesn't feel good at all usually when you know, you start to get to that next rung. There's some kind of relief, or there's some kind of positive feeling, but this doesn't really feel positive in any kind of way, at least not now. So yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. Like I said, I'm really just venting. Most of my other videos will have some kind of, it'll involve what that rung was, you know. It'll in some kind of way, hopefully, like what that was for me. At least my last video about negative emotions kind of did that for me, where I went through an experience that was not so positive, and I came out the other end like, oh, okay, yeah, that was not very positive, but where I am now is a better place. Whereas this one is, yeah, what I went through and what I'm still going through is not so positive, and I don't know, and I don't feel like I'm in a better place, and I don't know if I'm gonna get there. And so yeah, I'm just there right now. But I will give, I don't even want to say this, but I'll give myself a little bit of credit, because like I said, this is usually where I would capitulate and quit on everything. The overwhelming sense of apathy would usually get to me, and I would just, alright, I'm not going to even try, because trying is useless, trying is pointless. But I did say I was going to try and put out a video every Sunday, so I'm going to try and edit this into something coherent, hopefully, and I'll still try and put something out by Sunday. But I do apologize for this video. I like to try to be fun. I like to, even if it's not funny, I like to try to be funny, so that you can laugh at, even if you even if you're not laughing at the joke, you're laughing at the attempt, and being, or cringing at the attempt. And I really just can't channel that, or I can't bring that forth within me right now. So yeah, this is all I have, and I'm sorry for that. But hopefully I'll realize something, and hopefully by next week we can get back on schedule with some more important things than my silly little whiny problems that most people have already learned to deal with and cope with and continue to survive, whereas I'm only now learning this lesson. So again, I'm sorry, and yeah, as always, I wish everybody the best. If you're watching, I really wish you the best. Um, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.